Hello, hello, hello. Hi, you guys. How are you? It is Thursday morning in Northwest Indiana. Therefore, it is time for Live at the Loom. Hi, my name is Chris Acton with Acting Creative, and this is our fun. I used to always say 30 minutes. It's really longer than that now. It's about a 45 minute get together on Thursdays to talk all things fiber and weaving and life and whatever else comes up. I'll be honest, it's we just roll with it. Whatever happens. So, a couple shout outs. First of all, Jennifer Fowler, she was on it. She was ready at 9:01. She was ready. She was like, "I am here and ready to go." And then my second huge shout out is to Carrie, who flew all the way from Spain just to meet me. Yeah. Okay, it's not exactly the truth, but I'm going to choose to believe that my friend Carrie flew all the way from Spain and we got to meet in person. It was so awesome. You guys, it was wonderful. She's absolutely fabulous, and I don't know why she doesn't live here. We're just going to keep her in the States, just right here. Like, she can't go back to Spain. She has to stay. That's what we're thinking. Oh, hello, Ellen, here with her coffee. I love that. The day that you're not there with coffee, Ellen, that's when we worry. That's when we panic. Hello, Christy. How are you? And Sherry's on. Hello, Sherry. I can't wait to see you in just, whoo, Sherry, it's like less than a month, right? I'm ready. Sherry is with the Des Moines, Iowa Weavers Guild, and they are hosting the Midwest Weaving Conference, which is coming up very soon in June. So we're very excited. Oh, let's see who else is on. Oh, hi, Laura. How is Cincinnati this morning? Hello, Jamie. How is it going, sister? Hi, Belinda. Look at you. Belinda from New Jersey. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Yay. Oh, hello, Tanya. Tanya from one of our lovely Canadians. We love that. Hi, Connie from Hazy, Minnesota. I understand that it's chilly here today. I can imagine what Minnesota is. Yes. Let's see. Carrie says yes. Yeah. Carrie says yes. Of course, I came all the way from Spain just to see me. That's what we're gonna go with, Carrie. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Hey, Frida, how are you? Hi. Hello from Sherry from Ilwaco, Washington. Woohoo! She says she's checking in. Sam, another one of our favorite Canadians. Good morning from sunny Southwest Ontario. I love that. Let's see. I have to look at my cheat sheet. Help me out. Knits at Nittylicious. Oh, I don't have your name on my cheat sheet. What's your name, my friend? UK South Coast. Lovely. 20 degrees Celsius, sunny, and 3:30. Oh, love that. Excellent. Welcome. Hello, Ernie. How is it going? Hi, Leslie from Sebring, Florida. I know where that is. Yeah, Frida says, rainy day in Macon, Georgia. Excellent. We'll send some sunshine because for once we probably have nicer weather than you. That just never happens, I'm sure. So, hello, Maureen from beautiful Michigan. Right, it's chilly, but we're having lots of sunshine, which is wonderful. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you. I'll have to put that on my notes so I don't forget. Thank you, Teresa. Hello, is it Sarita? That's a really pretty name. First time I am joining quietly as I'm in the office. Okay, well, Sarita, you may have to turn the volume down because I'm loud. So that's you just chime right in between checking emails or whatever you're doing at the office, for sure. Hello, I'm so glad you guys are here. It is a lovely Thursday. It's been a very good week. I know I've mentioned this before, but I've decided to be a farmer. Which again is kind of exaggeration. I've decided to have a garden. And this past week we ordered like this huge pile of dirt. And so I've been shoveling dirt. So last night in the middle of the night, approximately 2:25 a.m. by the way, I wake up because I have this like band across the back of my back that is just like spasming. And it took me forever to figure out what I had done because I thankfully, knock on all the wood, I'm very grateful that I'm a fairly healthy person and I don't have like ongoing aches and pains. So when I have aches and pains that wake me up in the middle of the night, I'm confused. I was like, what is happening here? So yeah. Is anybody else out overdoing it in their garden? Who's with me? Yes, I haven't planted all the things, but I now have an additional raised bed. So that puts me to the count of 2 for anyone keeping track. I have 2 4-foot by 8-foot raised beds, and then I have a kind of a little box built into the deck, and there'll be other things happening. So it's yeah. So where are my gardeners in here? Anyone have recommendations for me? Yeah, Jennifer says Epsom salts in the bath will help. Thank you, Jennifer. That's a very good idea. Yes, thank you. Hello, Sandra. Welcome. Tanya says, send the rain here, please. Still way too many wildfires here out of control in Alberta. Ooh, Tanya, that is scary, my friend. That is. So our friend in Macon, Frida in Macon, is going to send you some rain. It may take a little bit to get there, but she can figure that out, I'm sure. Hello, Alex. Hi, she says, I have questions about weaving conferences. Oh, I like that. Okay. Alex, what would you like to know? What lay it on us? We have answers. Maybe not the right answers, but we have answers. Ellen suggests CBD lotion and a heating pad. Okay, that's a good, thank you. See, you guys know all the things. Teresa says, aches and pains for my new floor loom, knees and back as a newbie. Well, Teresa, don't overdo it, my friend. I don't know that weaving should ever cause you ongoing. Yeah, no, be careful with you. Carrie says, I've been reslaying a 50-inch loom from your friend. Yes, I believe that. I know you guys were making all kinds of plans when we had our lunch together, which is awesome. Holy crap. Jennifer says, I am building 10 more raised beds. I have 3 done. All the wood is cut and pre-drilled. Okay, Jennifer, you're going to have to give me some of your best gardening tips because, I'm learning. I'm such a newbie, but I'm learning. And I got to be honest, I have done enough research that I'm really like decision overload. There are times I was like, just put the damn seed in the ground, just water it. You're fine. It's not rocket science. So if you have any gardening suggestions, send them my way. Hello, Kathy. She says heating pads. Yes. Thank you. Yes. Sherry in Washington says it's 56 gray and breezy here. Yeah, we're even chillier than that at the moment. We're going to get into 70s today, but yesterday the high was like, I don't know, 58 was the high. It was cold here yesterday. Oh, Maureen says I have a 18, what is it, an 18 by 24 garden with a friend, like 18 feet by 24 feet. Maureen, that's serious. That's a commitment, my friend. I love that. Connie says her hubby gardens. Yeah, and I weave. I understand. Yes, totally. Christy says my husband has surgery next week, so we are outside trying to get all the big projects done. Mm-hmm. I heard in all sorts of places. I'm feeling my age. Christy, I feel you. Like I see you, Christy Lofton. I am right there. Yes. Sherry says, hey, in Iowa, we were getting the Canadian wildfire smoke. Oh, you're seeing some of the stuff that Tanya has, right? Yesterday we could smell it. Today it's hazy. Laura says, my cotton geraniums are up from seed. Laura, you're growing cotton? I didn't know that. That's so cool. Okay, I think it's amazing because I think of, cotton traditionally as just being something that's grown in the South. But I have talked to a couple of Midwest weavers and dyers that grow cotton here. Fascinating. I think that's amazing. Jennifer says I have a total of 18 beds plus hydroponics in the greenhouse. Okay, Jennifer, this is not a hobby. This sounds like a part-time to full-time job, my friend. This sounds incredible. I love that. Sherry says my husband made my raised beds about 3 feet high. Oh, okay. Aren't you brilliant, Sherry? Okay, here's Sherry's comment. She said her husband made the raised beds like tall, so you don't have to bend over. See, lessons learned. Now I know. Mine are just plop right in the ground. So, I'm leaning over a lot. Mm-hmm. Yes, right. Oh, Carrie's suggestion for Teresa she says, ex-newbie here. It doesn't have to be done in the same day. There's always tomorrow. Look at you. That's wonderful. That's very sweet, gentle advice, Carrie. And we all need to hear that. Thank you for sharing that. That's a very good point. There are times we get very focused and I'm going to get it done and I'm going to muscle through and do it all. And you don't have to. We're grown-ups. We can spread it out. It's okay. Okay. So Alex, words are hard. Alex says many conferences say to bring a table loom, but I don't have one yet. Okay. I would like to just sit in workshops for now. What's the protocol for that? I don't see an option. I would guess it depends conference to conference, teacher to teacher. I know that the classes that I'm teaching don't require a loom. I did have one. It did get canceled, but that one you were supposed to bring a loom. I didn't specify a table loom, but that was because you were going to actually do a project with me. Like it was a hands-on workshop. And for that, I would think it's not really something you can sit in on. But Alex, I would say if you have a certain conference that you're looking at, that you're interested in, I would just talk to them about your situation. Sometimes you can rent a table loom. Sometimes that's an option. They'll have some kind of choices for you there. So you guys chime in. Let me know if you've gone to conferences before, what's kind of been your experience. Thank you for asking that though, Alex. I love that. Okay. All right. See, Jennifer's got my back. She says, best tip, set up a water system to auto water and set up a fertilize schedule. Okay, Jennifer, I imagine me kind of at gardening 100, maybe like even like a negative number. This sounds like you're at like gardening like 400. Like this is like senior year level kind of stuff. That's awesome. We'll talk when I'm ready for that. How's that? I'll keep you in my back pocket as my consultant. And yeah, I understand that. Tanya says, she says she hates to say this, but heating pads should be followed by ice packs about 15 minutes apart. Okay, so kind of an alternating kind of thing, Tanya. Is that what you recommend? I like that. Yeah, I like that. I certainly understand the power of the cold to kind of keep the swelling down. I understand that. Yes. Yeah. Okay, so Teresa responded to Carrie. She says, I'm so excited I couldn't stop. I learned a quick lesson though. Yeah, please don't hurt yourself. That is more important than all of the weaving projects in the whole entire world. Oh, Jamie's gonna grow some cucumbers to make pickles. Ooh, and poblano peppers. See, Jamie, that's so funny because I grew cucumbers last year and they were great. Here's the thing, I don't like cucumbers, but I love pickles. I did them specifically for dill pickles. That's like refrigerator pickles, which was yum. I'm doing it again this year. It's happening. I'm very excited about that. Yes. Okay. So Leslie chimed in, debating on whether or not to switch from metal heddles to Texaw pedals for 36-inch shacked. Okay. Walk us through that. What you want to switch because they're loud, because they're heavy? What's your thought there, my friend? We can probably help with that. Laura says about the cotton. She says we're right on the border. It needs about 200 days to grow. Holy cow. So you can start them indoors. Is that the idea? Okay. That's so cool. And is it, Laura, is it every kind of cotton that'll grow or just specific kinds? Is there like cold weather cotton? Is that a thing? I don't know if you caught it earlier, you guys, but Laura's growing cotton. How cool is that? That's, I just think that's amazing. I have some friends, some connections in Michigan, the Detroit area, and they grow all kinds of stuff up there. It's wild. Oh, let's see. Alex suggests a Life Flow magnesium lotion. Okay, excellent. I love all your suggestions. That's awesome. Sam says her hubby built her a bucket garden, wood supports and buckets at the hip height, so no bending and no bunnies. That is pretty amazing, my friend. I like that idea. I saw this picture once where it had like imagine like stadium seating, and it had like 5-gallon buckets, like the paint buckets. Were is it that kind of thing, Sam? And then you can put plants in each of them, so there's all okay. Once you start going down the gardening rabbit hole, there's all kinds of stuff. Teresa says this will make you smile. Okay, I'm ready. Always, as a newbie to flow loom, I keep forgetting to take my foot off the previous pedal, so I was pressing down 2 at a time. The first 4 inches were a disaster. Teresa, boy, I love that. That is part of being a newbie. That is part of learning the process. Now, let's see. Are you on a jack loom, my friend? Because because as soon as you lift your foot, are you just forgetting to lift your foot? That's really sweet. That's really cute. I like it. We've all been there. Oh, you are not alone. Yes, you're not alone. Yeah, Tanya she's like, I've had lots of physical therapy, trust me, on the heat and then the cold. I got you. Thank you. Okay. Ooh, Jamie's going to make pickles for me. Would you please? I'll always. Yes, please. Yes, we'll figure that out. Maybe some pickles. I would love that. Sadly, I don't like sweet pickles. Just the dill for me. Dill with whatever you want to throw in there. I'm going to place my order now. I would like to place an order with Jamie for pickles this year. That's, anybody else growing stuff, just send me some stuff. This is so much fun. Okay, so here we go. Sherry says, I'm helping to plan. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So Sherry is one of the kind of the organizers. She's like one of the interior people for the Midwest Weaving Conference, and she said people ask. So we are a guild, so we have some that we can loan or rent out. So definitely ask the planning committee. That was for our friend Alex. Alex had asked about if you want to attend like a class or a workshop at a conference, but you don't have a table loom to take with you. Um, yeah, thank you for that though, Sherry, because that's I would think it depends on the conference and kind of how they're set up. So yeah, that's good. Alex, what conference are you thinking? Because maybe we'll know something. We have enough people that always kind of help and chime in and give us all the good information. So maybe we can help with that. Laura says all kinds of cotton will grow here. Laura's in Cincinnati, so she's a little farther south than I am, but still, that's incredible. That's incredible. Let's see. Leslie is pondering whether to, and I'm sorry, is Leslie the first name or the last name? You'll have to help me with that. Was pondering switching from the metal heddles to the TechSolve heddles. So you need more, but they're not available. Is that the situation, my friend? Okay, so who do we have some folks that use TechSolve heddles, right? In the crew, we've got some because mine, both my table loom and my flow loom both have the metal heddles, and they don't bother me. I know some people think that they're really loud. I guess I've just, how you just kind of get used to it. You're just like, okay, that's just the noise. That's just the rhythm that comes with weaving. And so I've worked on looms that have the TechSolve. As a matter of fact, the my folks at Woolhouse Looms, based out of Cincinnati, their looms have the TechSolve on them, and they're very lightweight. That is for sure. That is. They're very light, and because currently Tim's looms are all 8 shafts. That's kind of a consideration. His looms are all table looms, but they're 8 shafts or more, which so that would kind of make a difference there. But yeah. Let's see. Oh, Carrie had a suggestion for Teresa. Try building a heel rest as you have in a manual car for the clutch pedal. That's for switching. It'll help with removing your previous foot. Okay. All right. That's a nice, yeah. Oh, thank you. It's Jody. See, I should know that. See, thank you. It's not Leslie, it's Jody. Thank you. Yes. Okay. Sam has TechSolve on both looms. Sam, how do you like them? Is there is there any downside? Is it all pros all the way? Do you love them? Let us know. Kathy says Woolery has replaced their metal heddles, so they only have the TechSolve. Is that right? I would imagine that if you're making a loom, like after going to visit Tim and Cynthia, that watching them, I would think it's easier. The TechSolve is just easier. I would think it's lighter weight. I think for them, it's because you get a whole bunch and then you just kind of clip it to go into your loom. That's very cool. So, yeah. Let's see. Ernie says he has a Louet David that comes with TechSolve. Okay, all right. And Ernie, how do you like that? How do you like the having the TechSolve heddles? Jody was saying the thinner ones just get bent easily. Okay, all right. That would be frustrating. Are they the real fine ones that have just a little eye in the middle? Is that what you have versus the flat? What are they called? Okay, someone help me. I know it's a flat heddle, and then what's the other one? It's not a string heddle, but it's a much finer. It just has a little hole in the little eye. That's the word. What's that called? Someone jump in. What's that called? Karen has TechSolve on her quartet. Mm-hmm. Sam says she loves that it's so quiet. Okay, I could see that. I could see that would be a benefit for sure. Tanya says her table loom came with the TechSolve, which is an Ashford. She brought extra heddles, but Leclerc, because could get locally, they're slightly bigger. Oh, okay. So a little different size. All right. Christy has TechSolve on the Cranbrook. I love you have a Cranbrook. That's very cool. Metal heddles and the others. Actually like them both. Kind of prefer the metals. They slide easier to keep everything spread out. That would be one of the benefits I could see, is that they do, the metal does tend to kind of slide easier when I've worked with the TechSolve. That's a good point. Thank you, Christy. I like that. Yes. There we go. It's a wire heddle. Yes. Yeah. Sherry says inserted eye. Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Ernie's liking the TechSolve. Very quiet, easy to treadle. Okay. Love that. Perfect. Look at you guys. Okay. Any of the other world's problems we need to solve while we're on here. You think about that. You ponder what other problems we need to solve, because you have solved all my problems for today. Thank you very much. I check, check, check. Bad back, gardening, whatever else. What we got it. This is just, just ask live at the Loom, and someone will have an answer. I love that. Okay, so a couple reminders for us. That tonight, oh, it's going to be so much fun. So once a month, we have a small group Zoom chat for my Acting Creative Insiders. It is a blast. We really have a great rhythm going there. And pardon me, they're lovely. Like our crew, our little community that we're building there they're fantastic. They're just the coolest. And we have such a good time. So it is tonight. It's a once a month thing, and you still have time. So come over and join us. It is for everyone at the rug shuttle and the ski shuttle tier. So check out the Acting Creative Insiders, the membership, and you still have time, like up to the last minute, basically. You can jump in and join us. But that's happening tonight at 7 p.m. And on the horizon also is the second repurposing and weaving class. We had it was offered the first time 2 Tuesdays ago. And boy, we had such a great group. I mean, they were wonderful, and we had a blast. It's 90 minutes long. It's a virtual class. And the class was offered. It's offered 2 different times, so it's not a part 1 and 2. So if you didn't make it the couple Tuesdays ago, that's perfect. Join us this coming Tuesday. It's at 7:00, and it goes for 90 minutes. And it is like, put your seatbelt on. We're going to cover all the things. It's a blast. I have played with repurposing material in my weaving projects for well over a decade now. So the class is all about me kind of sifting through all the things I've learned, and then paring it down into one fun, just jam-packed class. It's very cool. So if you're interested in learning more about how to use, if you have grandma's silk scarf hanging out and you're never going to wear it, but you want to keep it close to you, we can transform it into something else that you can then have close to you, and you can think of grandma more often. Or if you've got a tie from Uncle Gordon, I can give you all kinds of ideas and techniques for how to repurpose that necktie and make it into, a wallet, a pillow, a bag of some kind. There's all kinds of ideas. It's so much fun. So if you haven't checked that out yet, class will be next Tuesday at 7 p.m. So there's room for all of you. Everybody who hasn't done it yet, just come on over. It's going to be a really good time. So don't forget those 2 things. Tonight's small group Zoom and Tuesday's class is going to be wonderful. Okay, it's time. Let's hear about your projects. I cannot wait. How are they going? What are you working on? Give me all of the details. We're going to talk about the project that's on my table loom. And my floor loom's been empty for a little bit, which is not, I don't like having empty looms. I like to have something going on there. So I have a couple ideas, but I can't wait to hear what you are working on in your corner of the world on your loom. By the way, Connie jumped in, which we always love to hear from Connie. Textile is quieter and lighter weight. Metal is easily thread and smoother to slide. I love that. Connie summed it up beautifully. She's like, here are the pros for this one, and here are the pros for this one. Thank you, Connie. That's brilliant, because I could see we're with you. That's yes. Yeah, Frida also mentioned that metal are easier to thread. I believe that. I can imagine, like, the few times I've used the Texsolve, it's kind of easy to twist the warp yarn around the Texsolve. That can be a little trickier. Okay, Ernie says, I watched your video on reading a weaving draft for a table loom. I never noticed the instructions to read up for the treadling, and I presume you start from the top. Is this universally true, or just for the drafts in that book? Ernie, that's a very good question. I think pretty much universally you would typically start at the top and work your way down. I think that's kind of the natural way to go. But I love Anne's book, and she specifically talks about the little arrow points up and the little. So, and when I think about it, the way that you sit at the loom, like you're going to throw this row and then this row, like I think it's very organic. I like the way she does it. Now, here's what I recommend is that if you have a draft that doesn't specify, try it one direction, try it the other, see if it makes any difference at all. In a lot of cases, it's not going to make a lick of difference. And just incorporate that as part of your sampling to see how that looks. Yes. Okay. Okay, Jamie, she says, do you want to hear that I still haven't made progress on my hand-dyed warp? Honey, you're busy. You have, a lot happening in your life. Don't you worry. We are ready when you are. There's no deadline. We're adults. Don't you worry. I know one day you'll be like, Chris, I'm working on the hand dyed and I'm having a great time. I know that's coming. It's all right, Jamie. It's because we've all been there. That is for sure. Let's see. Oh, Maureen is hemming her latest tea towels. Woohoo! I have a pile of things to hem. Okay, Maureen, tell me this. Hemming, love it or hate it? Where do you fall in the scale of I have to finish my towels? Tell me, share with the class, because I know I have very strong feelings about it. Okay, no, I should clarify. I don't have strong feelings about it. I love it because I have someone else do it. But hemming can be, sometimes you got to psych yourself out for that. Yes. Jennifer says, life is just getting back to normal. Husband is finally coming home after neck surgery. Ooh, sister, that just sounds, yeah, that's understandable that you don't have anything on the loom, Jennifer. We are going to send you lots of healing energy to your husband that hopefully he will be feeling much better very soon, because that sounds very serious. We'll keep him in our thoughts and prayers for sure. Let's see. Ellen says she's working on 2 different workshop scarves and fixing lots of broken threads. Ellen, that doesn't sound like you. Is it a certain kind of fiber that's giving you the broken thread problems? I'm so sorry. Oh, that is just, broken threads are not fun. Nope. So tell us more, my friend. Why the broken threads? That's not, because we know if you're using like a cotton or tencel, that's not the norm. We don't like that. Connie has finished up 2 18-inch pillows of Star of Bethlehem overshot. Oh, pretty. That's a really pretty pattern, Connie. Wedding present for the granddaughter. I think you sent me some pictures of that, which I love. Tell me how you liked that working with overshot. Was that fun? Would you do it again? Sarita says, I second your comment. I love Anne's book. So easy to follow and so pretty. It's my favorite. If you ask me, like, I would put it up against any other book out there. Now, part of the reason I love it is a book for beginners, and beginners are my people. I love that. I love all weavers, don't get me wrong, but I have such a soft spot in my heart for the beginners and helping with that kind of process. And I just think it's a lovely book. If you're going to work on, if you're just starting out and going to work on a 4 shaft, especially even an 8 shaft, that's the book I would start with for sure. Jody says, Jody, what is that? What is it? What is Hagdrol? That is awesome. We're going to need more information. What is that, my friend? To clarify for us, please. Sue Ann says, I'm doing finishing work on several projects. What is BW Loom? I'm so sorry. I'm totally flaking on whatever that stands for. My Loom is patiently waiting for me to put something new on. What is BW, my friend? I'm trying to think through the initials that I know. Yeah. Tanya says, Ernie apparently isn't universal. I assumed it was and then found out there's no standardized way to draft or read a draft. It's an adventure. Oh, thank you, Tanya. Thank you. Okay. I'm so glad that Tanya brought this up. And Ernie, that you asked the question about the whole, how do you read, which direction do you read a draft? There's a couple kind of hinky things with reading a draft, isn't there? First of all, it's the direction that you are looking at things. That's kind of one of the elements. But the other is what kind of loom is the draft written for? I did an episode once upon a time all about, I called it X's and O's. And the idea is that, especially the older drafts, you will see they'll have like a little circle or a little X. And that helps you determine what kind of loom it's written for. So let me see if I remember correctly. If it's written with an O, that means it's for a rising shaft, because the O, think of a balloon that lifts up. So that's for a rising shaft loom, like a jack loom. And if it's an X, little X marks the spot, think of an anchor. That's a sinking shaft loom. I hope I said that right. I did a whole video about it, and we'll include the link so you guys can see that. But it is interesting, the whole reading a weaving draft, you would think that someone sat down and said, "Oh, weaving drafts have to have these kind of standards," and that's not really the case. There's a little wiggle room there. So, I love that topic. Let's see. Okay, so, oh, thank you. Let's see. Sue Ann, Baby Wolf. That's what her BW was. Thank you. That helps. That helps. Let's see. Oh, and she's going to see an ECOT exhibit at the Seattle Art Museum. Ooh, okay. If anyone's in the Seattle, the Northwest area, that sounds like a fabulous exhibit to go to. Thank you for sharing, Sue Ann. Is there a Sue Ann, is there a link to that I can share for anyone who's in the area? That would be awesome. Kathy is making a scarf out of wool. Tried 2 different wefts, hated both. So the weft is the same as the warp. Have to work on reading a draft. No worries, Kathy. That is yeah. You know what? I love that. First of all, that is tough when you put something on and you're like, oh, that's ugly. I don't want to do that. that is tough. But that is part of kind of figuring out what you like and don't like. So that is part of the process. And I think what's brilliant is that going through that, you start to figure out, how can I fix this? Or how do I change it so I like it? And the more you do it, Kathy, the more kind of savvy you'll get about how to tweak one thing, and it makes a big difference. And then you love it. It's fascinating. I'll be very curious to see how your project ends up. I'm very excited. Sam has a table runner on one loom and a scarf on the other. Hand dyed fiber for the scarf. Ooh, very nice. What actual fiber is it? Is it a cotton or a wool or a tencel or yes, yeah. Ellen, okay. Ellen says she's using one mystery thread. I thought it was silk knoll, but it is shredding. Ellen, oh, I'm so sorry, my friend. Okay, who else has been there where you're like, this is not, I didn't sign on for this. This is not fun. All the broken threads. Yes. Okay, thank you. Christine's she's backing me up here with reading a draft. X's are for sinking shafts. O's are for rising. Oh, I'm sorry. I keep saying shaft. Shed. Thank you. Sinking shed. O's are for rising shed. What about numbers or solid blocks in the tie-up? Do we assume rising shed? Numbers or solid blocks? Okay. I know Ann Dixon's book, which has the solid, like the whole squares filled in. She writes hers for a jack loom. And that's it's in the introduction somewhere. She has it spelled out for you somewhere. I don't know if they don't specify. I'm not sure what to presume there. If there are numbers, well, I've never seen numbers in the like the tie-up section. I've never seen numbers there, but you'll see numbers in the treadling. And what that means is that okay, well, let me back up. So without us taking the next half hour to talk about all of that, basically, if you have like a number, if you're reading the treadling and you're going along and it says that you have to do the same pick twice, that almost always means that you have to do a tabby in between so that you're not just pulling the yarn out of your shed. Does that make sense? Because you would need something in between. So that happens with things like overshot, because you would have 2 shuttles going. So if you look at your instructions, typically they'll have some little note that'll say, you do a tabby in between. That's how you can have the same pick over and over and over again, because you're putting a little tabby in between. I hope that helps. If Christy, if you have further questions, you can always email me and I'll help you out there. Okay, so Maureen has to hem a lot of towels. She says it's okay once I get started. I hem by hand, but machine sewing is not good. I understand that. Yes. I applaud you for just doing the hand hemming. That's a lot. Sam says, can we do overshot for the October weave along? Sam, we'll chew on that. Here is usually my concern, is that for the weave alongs, I try to make sure pretty much everybody can at least have a shot at doing it. And overshot's not really a beginning pattern. But Sam, if you are interested, there can be some kind of overshot something. How is that? Maybe not for weave along, but if you are interested, we can dive into overshot in some other. Well, let me ponder that. Let me ponder that, Sam. That's a very good idea. Connie says she loves it, but slow going. Beautiful pattern on the loom. Love that. Yes, yeah. Okay. Teresa says 9-yard warp in boucle cotton. Okay, colors pink, gray, white tea towels. think it was a mistake to use boucle cotton first off as wound on the bobbin incorrectly. It kept catching. Honestly, learning curve. Yeah, right. You're doing great, my friend. That is sometimes what you learn is just you don't need to do that again. Sometimes, and that's okay. That's all right if that's what you take away from all of that for sure. Hi, Carolyn Morris. Just joined. Can you give me the title of the beginner's book you were talking about, please? Yes. Oh, I had it right near me. It is Ann Dixon's Hand Weaver's Pattern Book, I believe. Hand Weaver's Pattern Directory. It's Ann Dixon, ANNEDIXON. It's fabulous. That's my favorite. Yes. Let's see here. Yeah, there we go. Yes, you guys are great. Backing me up. X is for a sinking shed, so that when you put your foot on the treadle, like if you put your foot on the treadle for shaft two drops. That's a sinking shed loom. And if you have a jack loom like mine, you put your foot on the treadle for shaft two, and shaft two lifts up. That's a rising shed. Jamie says, did I learn that from you? Maybe. I'll take credit. That's I'll take credit, my friend. That's it. That's okay. Yeah. Okay, Sue Ann. Oh, thank you, Sue Ann. Yes. Do you know what? There's a link on it's in a couple different places, but Sue Ann, there is a if you're watching from YouTube, I put out a video last week about the class, and there's a link that goes with it there. So let me know if you have trouble finding it though, because I can send it to you directly if that helps for sure. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Carrie. See, Carrie, my friend who flew from Spain just to see me, just all the way over here. That's the book, Hand Weaver's Pattern Directory. It's so pretty, and I know that's not all the things that are important, but it does help. Let's see. Okay, Alex decided to alter her loom to make it easy to dress. Okay. I will be trying hitch pins for the beater and lynch pins for the breast beam. So far, I can't find the width length, but I'm out today to check at, what is ACE? I'm dressed and ready, but thinking of my next project. Alex, this sounds very technical. I don't know if you guys know this about me. Some of you do, some of you don't, but I am the least Miss Fix-It person you'll ever meet in your entire life. Like, I panic if anything goes wrong because I'm like, I don't know, I might have a tool. So just the fact that you are brave enough to take that on, my hat's off. That's amazing. I love that. Let's see. Oh, Tamison's on. Hola, Tamison. There we go. Oh, Sarita was talking about the ikat exhibit from India originally. Grew up with handwoven ikat, with handwovens in general. Oh, how wonderful. I love that. Thank you. Okay. Sam had asked about the overshot. She says, ponder away. I love that. Yes. Right. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Alex. Yes. Like the hardware store. Yes. Thank you. See, I'm all caught up in all of the, it has to represent something. Yes. Of course we have Ace Hardware. Thank you. Yes. You're right. Ace. We love Ace Hardware. Okay, you guys, let's weave a little bit, shall we? This has been great. You guys are, it's just so much fun, right? Okay, let me tilt this down so you can see what is happening here at my loom. Maybe right there. Can we see? There we go. We can see some of that happening. Okay, this is the, let me back up. I am making fabric for ornaments. And I grabbed one to show you. This is what our kind of standard ornament looks like this little nugget. Look at that. Isn't that cute? It has some kind of hand-woven little bits on one side, and then some kind of fun complementary fabric on the back. Now, you know I don't sew. So I have a few seamstresses that help me out, and one of them, the lovely Joyce, has a magic machine that will, there we go, we can kind of see it there. She can program it to create this whole piece here. And we've learned that she does like 2 layers here. Because the first layer doesn't always catch all the edges, but the second layer does, like, get it locked in. So she makes these fabulous. Here is my solution to what do you do with the scraps? Because there's always little bits left over when you're weaving. At least I find that. So I'm having her make lots of ornaments for me. Now, last year I was not very forward thinking, and basically October 1st rolled around. I thought, I should have Joyce make some ornaments. So I thought, no. This year we're gonna fix that. So starting in January, I was like, can you just make ornaments the whole year? Can you just? I'm just gonna keep feeding you fabric, and you just keep pumping them out. So that has been the plan. But the fabric that I've given her so far has been all lovely little scraps and bits like this, and they're not specifically holiday colors. So that was my goal, was to make some fabric that could be then holiday-ish. Holiday-ish, that was the goal. So last week, it's the same project as last week. I don't know if you can see. Let me see if I can tilt you a little, and maybe. Okay, no one gets seasick here. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Okay, I should not be allowed to drive this thing. Okay, so here, can you see the kind of the white and the red? So I've played with some different kind of color combinations here. And my thought is just that for now, what I'm going to do is play with a couple different options of the green so that we can use it for holiday stuff, because we can just have a red background, voila, holiday. Or we could actually use this for, it could be St. Patty's Day. It could be something else where it just has the green on there. So here is what I am doing. I left my own devices. I like to do a combination of plain weave and twill and just let it rip. Just whatever comes to mind, change it as I go. Now, one of the things I wanted to note to kind of walk you through is that you'll notice I didn't include a floating selvage because I am just playing. And because of the kind of frequency that I alternate, a little bit of twill, a little bit of plain weave, a little bit of twill, a little bit of plain weave, I don't worry so much about the edges. If you knew that what you wanted to do was mostly twill and just a little bit of plain weave, I would absolutely include some floating selvages so that your weft yarn would always go all the way the complete width of your project. That's what I'd recommend. But for this kind of thing, I'm just going back and forth. Plus, this is not going to be it's not going to be a scarf. We are actually going to cut it out of the fabric like this, so the edges don't matter so much. So, and it kind of comes back to one of the things I always like to throw out there is that as you're deciding what you're going to work on, what your project is going to be, always keep the end result in mind. What is your goal? What do you want the fabric to do for you? And that can help it's going to help dictate a lot of those decisions, but it also can help kind of, make things easier. I mean, a floating selvage is awesome, but it does take a little more thought. So if you don't have to use floating selvages, don't worry about it. So enough said, let me show you what I'm doing. So this is like the grassiest green color. I think it's so pretty and bright, although I've hardly met a green I didn't like. So just to be fair, I'm kind of biased. Okay. So here is how I do this. I'm going to do they're called picks, 3 picks of plain weave to start. So I've got 1, and this is 2, and this is 3. By the way, it's just a straight draw is how I threaded this. Straight draw is just when your warp yarns go through the shafts in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 pattern over and over again. That's kind of the entry level. That's as you're talking about threading your shafts, that's typically where you start, is with a straight draw. So you have 1 yarn through 1, 2, 3, 4 over and over again. That's how it goes. So I did my three plain weave picks. Now I'm going to do my little bit of twill. Now I like to do a 2-2 twill, which means that you always have 2 shafts up and 2 shafts down. I like it because it's the same on both sides. And it's not always critical, but it's just kind of I just like it. I like a 2-2 twill. So I tend to, whatever side my shuttle is on, I tend to start with the levers that are closest to that side. It comes from years of doing art fairs when I would be in the middle of something and get interrupted and be like, I don't know where I am. So there's ways that you can kind of give yourself little visual cues as to where you are. So I know that when I start the twill, whatever side of the loom, wherever my shuttle is, I'm going to use those treadles on that side. That's how I do it. Okay, so now I'm going to make like a little arrow. I'm going to do, I'll show you. Here we go. So I have 1 and 2 are down. Then I'm going to go 2 and 3. With twill, you just kind of shift over 1 each time, right? So this is 2 and 3. This is 3 and 4 right here. And then I'm going to go back the way I came. Okay, here we go. Back down. 2 and 3. And lastly, 1 and 2. That's it. That's the whole repeat. So now, as I'm getting ready to start plain weave, my shuttle's on this side. I know that I'm going to use the treadle that's closest side. So when I go into plain weave, I'll know that this is one of the treadles. So that's one of my little kind of visual tricks that I'll use. So we'll do one more repeat just so you can see it. So 3 picks of plain weave. And this, you guys, this is all random. This is all just me kind of playing with what I like. And then you see in the fabric, you're like, okay, yeah. And then you just go with it. Trust your gut, play, see if you like it. If you don't like it, keep playing. Okay, 1. This is just plain weave, over, under, just like a pot holder. We love the pot holders. This is my 3rd one right here. And then I'm going to go into a little 2-2 twill. So I got 1, 2. The shafts 1 and 2 are down. And then 2 and 3, right? And then 3 and 4. You're getting it, right? It's easy enough. And then back down. 2 and 3. And lastly, 1 and 2. Voila. So we just lickety-split did 2 repeats of the fabric. Let me see if I can tilt you down so you can kind of see it closer. Again, everyone hang on to your seat. There we go. See it? Right? It's pretty, right? Just a little something, something. Yeah. And what I've learned about doing that kind of mix of plain weave and twill is that for this is my 8/4 rug cotton, warp cotton, whatever you want to call it. When I put it in the washing machine, I find that the mix of twill and plain weave makes it squishier. It has a nicer hand when I mix the 2 of them. Just yeah. Okay, so that was our little weaving tidbit for the day. Yes, Sarita likes the ornaments. Thank you so much, Sarita. Thank you. Jennifer says we'll make a nice gift. Thanks. That was part of my goal, was to make sure that the ornaments were kind of a good price point. But then it was, for me, honestly, it was all about what do I do with all my scraps? Because believe me, I have a lot of scraps. So, Jocelyn made it. Hi, Jocelyn, you're here. Yay. Tanya says, so you don't do a 1/4. Oh, it's part of the twill. Tanya, you know what? I didn't this time around. I have in the past for sure. And you totally could. If you wanted to kind of extend the size of the arrow, you totally could do a 1/4. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, very, very, very good. Okay, let's finish strong, shall we? So, a hand-woven experience this week was this was a fun one. This week, what I decided to do was take kind of 2 older episodes and connect the dots. And part of what brought it on is I'd had a couple folks who asked about it, and I thought, you know what, it's one of those things that a beginner may just not know kind of what to look for. So it's all about how to read a weaving draft, which is part of our discussion we had earlier, but how to do it on a table loom, because you don't have treadles. You don't have the same, like the tie-ups function differently. So it basically connects the dots between reading a weaving draft and direct tie-up loom, which that's what this is a direct tie-up loom. So hopefully you enjoyed that, and let me know if you had any questions. Carrie says, lovely to have met you. I'll be traveling next Thursday. Okay, well, we'll miss you on Thursday, my friend. Excellent. Okay, so that was the handwoven experience for this week, the video. So if you haven't checked that out, you are invited to do so. And then lastly, if you haven't signed up for the weekly love notes, you're invited. Every Wednesday, I send out just a sweet little message just to say hi, and I'm thinking about you, and here's what's happening. And it's just fun, right? It's just a little, little story, little something from me every Wednesday to say hi. Yeah, thank you. Yes. Yeah. Ernie says it was this week's handwoven experience that prompted my question. Great discussion. I'm so glad you asked, Ernie. That was wonderful. Okay. I think I have checked off everything on my list. I don't know if I've ever shared with you guys. This is loosely what my list looks like. Like I always sit down, I take like the bare minimum, like, okay, we'll see what else comes up, but here are things I want to touch on. So there's usually some kind of list taped to my light here. Oh, thank you, Alex. Just have a good week, everyone. Okay, so don't forget, tonight is our a small group Zoom chat. You are all invited. If you aren't part of Acting Creative Insiders, come on over. And next Tuesday will be our repurposing and weaving class. So take a look for those. Let's see, next Thursday. Yeah, I'm right back here, folks. That is the plan. We will we'll party together as we usually do on next Thursday at 9:30 Central Time. Your homework this week, do a little something creative. You know what I'm going to say. Throw a shuttle, pet your yarn, do something, play with some colors, some fibers, whatever it is. It's good for you. Okay, this was outstanding today. Thank you so much for being such a wonderful crew. It's really a joy to chat with you every week. Okay, next Thursday, mark your calendar. I'll be right back here. Have a wonderful week, and of course, happy weaving.